Welcome back, GlamFam. This is Angela Denise, and I am here with you today with another video on 5 products that I am on the fence about. So I last did one of these videos in December, and you guys seem to really like it. These are products that I've been using for the last couple of weeks, even months. I have a wide variety. I have some drugstore things, some high-end things, and even some fragrance that we need to talk about. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, just keep on watching. So first things first is a eyeshadow palette that I picked up, that I hauled with you guys for my February haul. And that is the e.l.f. The New Classics eyeshadow palette. So I was super excited about this eyeshadow palette. It was one that I actually really wanted to try over the last couple of months. And so I just kind of bit the bullet and ordered it off of elf.com because I could never find it in stores. But then I recently found out that they are available in Target stores. So anyway, I did order this palette online, so I wasn't able to go in store or anything like that and test it out or swatch it. But the eyeshadows really did speak to me because here recently I've been into more cooler tone eyeshadows, and so this one was right up my alley. So one of the reasons why this palette ended up making it into this particular video was I tried to use this palette on 3 or 4 different occasions, and the shimmer eyeshadows did not work out for me. They actually resulted in me not uploading 2 drugstore videos that I wanted to do for you guys because I just did not like the way the shimmer eyeshadows look. Now, what I will speak to is that the matte eyeshadows in this palette are quite nice, but the shimmer eyeshadows were just not for me. I will go ahead and swatch it. They feel good when you swatch them, but they are just underwhelming. This is supposed to be, I guess, like a satin shade. It's just honestly not what I'm used to. I really did have high hopes for this eyeshadow palette. Now, the shimmer shade or satin shade that I think this is like a metallic, that I did like was Rose Gold. And I don't love this shade. I do just like this shade. This is the only one that I used that was satisfactory in my opinion. But all of the matte shades here, all of these 2 were good. So I will only be using the mattes out of this eyeshadow palette, and I actually have eyeshadows that are that kind of color. So I could have done without spending the money on this one, although it was just $14. But yeah, I was very underwhelmed by the satin and shimmer shades in this eyeshadow palette, and that's one of the reasons why it made this list. So the next thing that we'll talk about is actually going to be kind of controversial in my opinion, simply because so many people love this brand, and I totally understand why, but just let me explain. This is the Fenty concealers that I tested out back in January on my channel, and honestly, upon first impression, and that's actually one of the reasons why you take your first impression videos with a grain of salt, simply because your opinion can change, and as you wear it and test the product, you know, things can change. So I did have the shade 460 as my under eye concealer shade, and then I picked up 2 different sculpting shades. I picked up 480 and then 450. So after testing out both shades, 450 seems to be a better match for me because 480 was just too dark. I don't like this concealer under my eyes, period. I tested this concealer out using the Fenty powder, using my Holy Grail Chanel loose powder, using another loose powder that I really like is the Huda Beauty loose powder, the easy baking powder. So I tried this concealer with all 3 different loose powder, and every time, before I could even finish my makeup look, I would get really heavy creasing under the eyes. Now, granted, I do have aging eyes, so I do have those concerns going on up under there, but I really have never had a concealer crease on me that bad, that fast. That's one of the reasons why I have this concealer on this list. Now, I want to say that right now I am using a drugstore concealer that I really don't even like for various different reasons, and that is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I don't like these because I find these a little bit too drying, but that's not what this video is about. That's just an example of that was a cheaper concealer, but it still performed under my eyes better than the Fenty. Even though it's a little bit drying, there's really no creasing going on up under my eyes, and I do have lines. And I set this with a really lightweight luminous type of powder. So I'm not knocking the Fenty concealers. It's just that they don't work for me under my eyes. If you are younger or you don't have the lines up under your eyes, this might work for you. I really did enjoy the creaminess of this concealer. It felt great. It blended out beautifully. It really did add a nice highlight to the skin without feeling heavy. I love all of those qualities about this concealer, but ma'am, it creases way too fast and way too bad. It just does not look good on me. Now, what I will say is this is how, if I were to keep this concealer, I would use the sculpting, well, these aren't sculpting shades, but the darker shades to sculpt my face, because they blend out like a dream. It's just so blendable and beautiful on my skin, seriously. So I really do like that fact. And if I wanted to highlight the face like down here and on the nose and forehead, this would be great for that. So I will say that if I were going to keep these concealers, that's how I would use it. It's just kind of hard because I literally have so many concealers in my collection that I can't even make time to use all of them. So next up are two products that I actually hauled with you guys in my January beauty haul that I purchased from Walmart when I basically were purchasing my Physicians Formula butter bronzers, and that is the Physicians Formula Rosehip Seed Oil Lip Polish and the Physicians Formula Saucy Mauve Blush. First of all, I have actually taken both of those products back and gotten my money back. So I don't have them here to show you. So one of the things that I didn't like about the lip polish is that the smell was actually repulsive. I really couldn't use it. So I am used to what rosehip seed oil actually smells like, but it smelled like it was a product that actually had gone bad. The texture of it was nice and all of that. I think it was less than $10, so I didn't mind that, but the smell I just couldn't get past. So it's really hard for me to use something on my lips that smells really bad. So that's why that one is on today's list. Next is the Physicians Formula Saucy Mauve Blush. I was super excited whenever I seen that Physicians Formula had a mauve blush. It looked like it was a deeper blush online than what it really was in person. You guys did see me demo that blush in my Physicians Formula bronzer video that I did. So if you have not had a chance to check that out yet, please go ahead and check it out if you are interested. So the texture of the Physicians Formula blushes are amazing. I will give them that, but they do definitely need to go back to the drawing board on the shades, because I don't necessarily consider myself light or dark. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle as like brown skin tone, and it was really kind of borderline too light for me to use. So I really felt like it should have been one or two shades deeper as it appeared online. So that's one of the reasons why that blush is on the list, because generally Physicians Formula's blushes are not deep enough for brown skin tones, and that really sucks because the formula of them are amazing. All right, so last but not least is a bummer for me, really. So I was super excited whenever I found out, I think that was like back in October, November or something like that, that this product was actually coming out or had came out, and that is the Coco Mademoiselle, the Eau de Parfum Intense. And so you guys know I've talked about it on my channel that I love the original Coco Mademoiselle. So when I found out that this one was coming out, I was super excited about it. So I purchased it, and I think that I paid full price for this. So the price for this actually did go up to $145 for this perfume. This is the 3.4 ounces. What was disappointing for me about this perfume, it's not that it's bad. It's not bad at all. But I was expecting for it to be the original Coco Mademoiselle, just a little bit stronger and last a little bit longer. In my opinion, the DNA on the Coco Mademoiselle Intense is not the same. It smells like a completely different perfume. It smells sort of similar, but it's not the same perfume if you ask me. They are completely different. This one has a lot more patchouli in it. So some might like this, that like a more patchouli heavy type of scent. This is great. Patchouli scents are great for wintertime, which is one of the reasons why I featured this one in a winter fragrance pick, but it's definitely not the Coco Mademoiselle original. So if you are expecting it to be, you will be disappointed, as I was. So I do find that it does last on the skin a little bit longer than the original Coco Mademoiselle, but it's just the scent. I really like that original Coco Mademoiselle DNA, and I just, I'm actually really bummed about it. But yeah, that is going to wrap up today's video. This is the second edition of my products that didn't work out for me, or products that I was on the fence about. You guys weigh in down below and let me know what your thoughts are on the products that I mentioned today. By no means am I intending on bashing anything that I mentioned today. These are just my experiences that I had with these products, and I do purchase most of my products on my channel with my own money, so I kind of feel like I have the right to be critical on how I'm spending my money and expecting certain products to perform a certain way. But anyways, that is going to wrap up today's video. Until the next time, dolls, I will see you later. Bye. Okay.